Hey guys, it's Miss Janice, and this is my friend Mr. Chris. And we are going to talk today a little bit about what he does, not for his main job, but for something else, because our lesson today is on Deborah, who is a judge in the Old Testament. And Mr. Chris has a job as a referee, which kind of is like a judge. So thank you for wearing your shirt to show us what it looks like when you're out there.
Oh, you're welcome.
So what is it like? How did you become a referee?
I started refereeing when Ryan, our youngest, was 2. Ryan was 7 playing baseball.
Gotcha.
And one of my friends asked me, he said, "You know a lot about baseball, why don't you come and help us out?" So I started refereeing college baseball. And I liked it. It was a lot of fun, but you have to make decisions, save out, things to that effect. So started doing that, and I got pretty good at it. And then I went from there to baseball, to high school baseball, and then there for high school football, and then football, high school lacrosse.
Gotcha.
So
when you make some of these calls, just like a judge makes a call and sometimes people don't agree with it, do you ever have people get mad at you for them?
all the time.
Oh, no.
Some people are happy, some people are sad.
Yeah. And do you ever change your mind, or do you stick with what you said? Is that the final decision no matter what?
No, that's my final decision.
Final decision, just like a
no matter
judge.
what.
Yep. So a referee is like a judge, and so when the final decision comes out, you might disagree with it, but that's all it is. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you have fun doing it, and that that's something that you can do for all the different teams. I'm sure they appreciate it.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
And we will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Bye now.
Well, hey guys. I was just relaxing here underneath my palm tree. Got my sunglasses and I'm on the beach. Not really. I'm really just in my backyard. And this is a palm tree that I borrowed from John Bost at our church. So thank you, John. Thank you, Miss Sharon. And thank you to Grayson and the twins. Thank you for the great loan of the tree. So I was just thinking I'd sit under the tree like the lady in our story did today. So we started out talking in the beginning when I talked to Mr. Chris about the fact that our lesson is on Deborah. So let's get to our lesson and see what we have to learn. So Deborah was a judge who obeyed God, and her story is in our Spark Bible. So let's go ahead and read it. God's people had been captured by an enemy. They prayed to God, "Please help us get our land and freedom back." God listened and sent a woman named Deborah to help them. Deborah was a judge and was very, very wise and faithful to God. She gave people messages from God and helped people talk out their arguments. Every day, Deborah sat under a palm tree. Men and women who had problems came to her for help. One day, God gave Deborah an important message, a message that would help free the people of Israel. Deborah gave God's message to a man named Barak. She told him, God said, "Take 10,000 men and go to Mount Tabor. God will help you defeat the king's army, and the Israelites will be free." Okay, hold on. Gotta get the page turned. Barak said, "I'll do this, but I need your help." Deborah, who was as brave as she was wise, agreed to go. She knew that God would be with her every step of the way. Barak and Deborah took 10,000 men to Mount Tabor. There was an awful battle. Yelling and fighting went on. The noise was loud and terrible. But God was always with Deborah and the Israelites, protecting them and keeping them safe. It was a hard fight, but finally Barak and the Israelites won. God helped them defeat the king's army, and there was peace for 40 years. So that's our story for the day. So what did Deborah do? Do you remember? So she was a judge, right? She sat under a palm tree. She helped people to solve their arguments. She heard messages from God and helped people. And she helped Barak win a war. So what would you do if God asked you to lead people? Would that be scary? Would you ask for help from someone? That's what Barak did. It's not a bad thing if you have to ask for help. So where can we see palm trees today? Well, you can right now on my back deck. But usually, where can you see them if they're growing? You can see them where it's warm, right? I grew up in Florida, and there's palm trees in Florida, there's palm trees in California, a whole bunch of different places. A lot of times we think of them like when we go to beaches, like vacation spots, and I would love to be on a beach right now. But I sunburn, so only at night. But if you go to the beach, make sure to bring your suntan lotion. So, that's where we see palm trees, but we don't see Deborah anymore because she's not under them. So why was Barak scared, do you think? Well, I mean, if he had to go to war, that would scare him that maybe he could get hurt or maybe even die. So, who did Deborah and Barak trust to help them win the war? They trusted God. And Barak trusted Deborah, and Deborah trusted God, so they were both trusting in God. Today's Bible story that we read about Deborah is from the book of Judges. And Judges is in the Old Testament, and it's a historical book and tells the history of several judges that were chosen by God to help the Israelites. So she sat under a palm tree to listen and settle arguments for the people. And what do you think is a special place that you could go if you wanted to listen to people who were having an argument and help them? Does it have to be under a palm tree? Does the palm tree make it special? Is that what helped her settle the arguments? Nope, it was God. So if you go anywhere and you listen to what God is telling you, you can help people. You can help it if you're in an argument with someone. You can help it if other people are arguing. It doesn't matter if you're under a palm tree or a pine tree or if there's no trees around at all. It just matters that you listen to God and listen to your heart and to what you think is best to help people. So, you might have heard that a little bit ago there was a judge, we're talking about judges, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a judge that was on the Supreme Court. That means the highest court in the United States. She was only the second woman to ever do that. So it was kind of odd that Deborah was somebody who was chosen to go and lead in battle, because that wasn't done a lot for the Israelites. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died recently, she was a pioneering woman too who was on the Supreme Court. And she was on there for 27 years. That's a long time to hold a job. So, when we think about jobs that we can have, do you think you can do them for as long as 27 years? That's a really long time. That's longer than any of you have lived. So think about it when you're choosing a job and see if you can think you can do something really important, but if you can do it for a long time and still be happy at it. And who are people that you can go to if you need help? So if you're in an argument and you need help, who do you go to? Sometimes it's a teacher if you're at school. Sometimes it's your parents or your grandparents. There's lots of people who can help you. Maybe it's another friend who knows the other friend that you're having a fight with. If it's your brother or sister, maybe you go to mom and dad. But you can always pray. If you're not really sure how to resolve it, you don't want to go to another person, you can always pray for God to help you, and maybe you can help resolve the argument that you're having. So today, a military commander asked for help. Do you think absolutely anybody can ask for God's help? They can. It doesn't matter. Anybody in the entire world can ask God for help because He created everybody and He wants everybody to come to Him when they have problems. So sometimes when we're asked to help, we don't always respond like Deborah, do we? Sometimes we respond like Barak. Sometimes we get a little nervous about it. So it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to say, I'm kind of scared about it. So if you're asked to do something, just admit it if it makes you scared, and see if somebody can help you to do something that'll make you more brave about it. All right? So now we're going to go ahead and say our closing prayer. And since I was reclining with our palm tree before and we didn't get to it, we're going to close with the Lord's Prayer. Okay, so fold your hands. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you so much for seeing me under the palm tree. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.